Good morning, friends. It is a beautiful morning in the garden, about 69 degrees, but it is going to get hot today. So I wanted to bring you out and show you the difference a few weeks makes. I can't remember the date of the last time I brought you out here with me, but we went on vacation last week, went to Colorado Springs, had a great time, and came home to a beautiful hot mess. And so I'm gonna turn the camera so I can show you just the abundance that's in this garden. Now you will see, I'll talk while I'm turning. You'll see here that I did go ahead and harvest all of the cauliflower. Each one had a, excuse me, had a nice little head on it, and the leaves were just very buggy. So went ahead and harvested that. We had a delicious meal, and I put some in the freezer. And then I harvested all the beets. Yesterday I made pickled beets. Got 4 pints off of that. Oh, I see a tomato cage that's falling over. I'll have to go fix that. Oh, and there's my garden helper, Daisy. She must smell something. All right, and then turn on around here. Goodness sakes, it is so full now. Lots of weeds too. Thankful for my neighbor, Bob, who did all the watering while we were gone. I picked a few beans when we got back. I've got some empty spaces to fill up. There's my, let's see, we've got beans and sunflowers. We have an empty space where some of the beets were, and potatoes. Oh, potatoes right there, sorry. And then another empty space where there were some beets and beans, tomatoes, and I'm so excited. I'll bring you in here close. There are, can you see them? There are tomatoes on that plant. I'm excited for that, and some dill that's coming up. This is my pepper row, which I have some peppers over in the raised beds, and I've actually harvested some banana peppers already from those plants. I've harvested some cucumbers, and the peas are finished. I've actually cut them at the base, letting them dry up a little bit, and then I'll give them to the chickens. And then I'm going to plant some more pinto beans on those trellises. Coming on over, I love when the tunnel is full and you can go in there and stand in the shade, and there is something so peaceful about going in there. We have some honey nut squash, some bottle gourds. Now I did plant I think it's called a bushel basket gourd. It gets really big. I can't tell if any of those came up, so we'll have to wait and see how many of these plants are honey nut and bottle gourds, and then the bushel basket gourd. Going on down, I've got more beans, which the deer have found, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. Then in this area where everything is just sprawling, I have pumpkins and patty pan, watermelon, cantaloupe, several different kinds of pumpkins. And I noticed right down here, I'll show you, we have a little fruit growing and lots of blossoms. There's been lots of bees. I'm so excited because last year my pumpkin harvest was, in fact, I only had a few pumpkins growing and they all rotted on the plant. Of the few that we had very, very poor pollination, and also my irrigation, which I use soaker hoses. Oh, look in there. Look at all those bees. The soaker hoses got run over by the lawnmower and we didn't realize it, and so none of the pumpkins were being watered. And we just thought they were dying for other reasons. Oh, I see another pumpkin or squash. I'm not sure which it is, because I've planted so many different ones in here that I just don't even remember what's what. And I'm not great at labeling. It's kind of a treasure hunt. I don't know what this one is, but I don't see any blooms on it yet. So lots of volunteer sunflowers. They're so beautiful. Lots of volunteer zinnias. Any squishies in there? Not yet. Okay, here's my okra, which are really being shaded out by these gigantic sunflowers. And here's the deer damage. They're nibbling off the tips, and they've done the same thing to some of my watermelon, which is so not cool. All of these sunflowers are volunteers. Isn't that exciting? And they are so strong. Oh, more deer damage down here at the bottom. I don't know what this is. It needs to be pulled out because it's just taking up valuable space. And grass, lots of grass. I have volunteer zinnias, which that little trash can right there is just so that nobody mows over the zinnias. I did get, oh, it looks sad. I planted a zucchini up here and some radishes, which the trash can is marking that. Supposedly, if you put radishes around your zucchini, the bugs don't like the radishes, and so they stay away. Oh, I forgot my jar. More volunteer zinnias. Those darn Japanese beetles have found the garden. They are on the borage and on the beans. Oh my gosh, they are decimating the beans. Look at that. Okay. So what I've done for that in the past is I carry a jar. Well, hi, Bootsy. Look at this sweet little Bootsy kitty who needs a new home. Anybody want a kitty? We had 2 kittens dumped on us, and I cannot keep them. They're causing my older cats a lot of stress. Hello, baby. So I need new homes for 2 kitties. Look at all those tomatoes. That is so exciting. Maybe that's why it's falling over. It's getting heavy. Anyway, back to the bugs. I carry a jar out with me that has just a tiny bit of coconut oil in it. And I will just knock the bugs off into the coconut oil. And then they drown. And I put the lid on, and I just keep that jar out here, and they bake in the sun, which I know sounds horribly cruel and very stinky. But it helps, oops, Bootsy, you're under my feet. It helps eliminate some of the bugs. And so if I can capture the bugs, they cannot reproduce. Look at those. Beautiful, another volunteer. Gorgeous. Now some of these, like this little sunflower here, I did plant. I planted several of those. That was a gift. Oh, there's one of those bugs. A gift from my friend Stephanie. Gorgeous. And so, back to the bugs. At the end of the year, I just throw the whole jar away. But it does help. So, here's back to the raised beds. I'm actually going to plant some bush beans in the empty spaces in the raised beds, and then I've got some tomatoes to tie up and some watering to do. So that is pretty much an overview of the garden today. I've got a lot of work to do. I want to get it done while the garden is still shaded and while it's not too hot yet. I love those sunflowers, especially against that blue sky. Gorgeous. So I will take some pictures if I harvest anything. I don't think there's anything ready to harvest right now, except for maybe a few onions, and there might be some cucumbers in there. But I'll check the beans, I'll check the cucumbers, and if there's anything to harvest, I'll pop in a picture of what I have picked. And so thank you for coming to the garden with me this morning. I pray you have a great day, and I hope you are growing something, even if it's just flowers on a balcony. Get your hands in the dirt. Get something growing. God is great, and He gives us so many beautiful things. Sunflowers. Gorgeous. And happy gardening. Bye.